Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Love you guys. Glad you're here today. I hope you're having a great day. Today is going to be more playing in my Trashy journal, and it's looking good. I've added some things. I've had a few play sessions, and this is a perfect thing to sit down and work on in front of the TV during football Saturdays. Anyway, I've got about 3 signatures. And the beauty of these signatures being loose still is I can interchange them, I can move them around, and I can even take insides of one and put it into another if that's what I want. I kind of like the arrangement that I have right now. But today, my friends, I'm going to play with the inside cover. Sometimes I leave that till last, not this time. And sometimes I sew it, and sometimes I do all kinds of things. So it's just today I have decided to add some labels. Partly because of bulk. It's less bulky, these labels are. And that little avocado piece there, I put on a sticker, and it was just in the corner of the label. So I just took that off and added it to the front, which I thought was cute. And I did add an avocado to my soup. Now this is one of those lovely chocolate bar covers with a pretty poem on the back. And so I have to decide what I'm going to do with that. I thought about putting it here, but I think I'll either make it a flip of some sort inside, or it can be in one of the pockets. Yeah, I'm going to set that one aside. And then I made a circle out of the olives too. I thought that was a cool way to make that one go. And then, yeah, I'm just going to get started here, cutting off this tomato soup. Nope, just tomatoes. Oh, and all of these barcodes too, because I don't have enough. Winky face. I have a whole little bag of these, barcodes, and I don't know. I think I might do a whole page of collections of barcodes. I think those are so cool to see next to one another. So. And I put them in this little bag to have for whenever. They're great little space fillers if you've got a blank space. And if you're a maximalist like me, when it comes to these books, filling up spaces I'm all about that. So, and here are some of the other labels. I brought that out, but that's not going to work for this. I have this Papa's Pizza thing, and this is like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, or Papa Murphy's. Yeah. So anyway, maybe cut it there, use that part. Not sure yet, but I like the red and that strip and the logo. So that's what I brought out to work with, and some labels, receipts. There's my Hobby Lobby receipt. And yes, I spent over $80 there. But that was the day that she gave me the watercolor pencils, the Inktense pencils for discount. So that was a good day. That was a good day. So if I need another filler thing, that could be another thing that could work for that. Let's see what else. Yeah, just the labels. And I'm just going to glue them on, sort of Tetris this in a way that makes sense and is, pretty simple, actually. Having these larger size labels makes this kind of coverage easy, fast, and fun. Because you got all the different colors. There's a lot of reds in my labels. I noticed that. And then at this blank space, I can put this little circle that says "Try Me" on it. So I'll do that later. So anyway, I've been doing voiceovers with my phone. And the reason I'm doing this one as a voiceover is because I filmed this at night when everybody else was in bed. So I had to kind of wait until the next day or another day to film this, just because I didn't want to make any noise. Everyone was sleeping. So I took an opportunity when the house was quiet. There's just no interruptions. And it's just so peaceful. And while I'm doing this, I've got some piano chill going on in my ears. I'm using both sides of my brain right now. And it just, while I'm doing the Trashy journal, and there's just such a calmness and a peace to it. And I am really in a zone right now. and happy to film this when nobody's around. So anyway, I'm just trying to put these pieces all together. And one thing about some of the labels and some of the materials that use for Trashy journals, they have this slick type of backing, or it's just slick if you're going to use plastic or something like that too. This double-sided tape works pretty good. And if you don't have double-sided tape, if you can find a roll of packaging tape, clear packaging tape, you just put that right over the top of it, and that'll stick it down, no problem. Or you could throw it through a sticker maker if you've got a sticker maker. I've got a Xyron that I never use, which could very possibly be something for these slick backed labels or papers to go through and put that sticker back on the. I haven't tried that. That is a thought though. If any of you have tried that, let me know down in the comments. That would be good to know. And maybe I will experiment with that, just because there are some that I have to either use the packaging tape or the double-sided tape. So that's another option for all the slick stuff. And I'm not going to cover the spine right now because I might have to cut the spine out and make it larger. So that's why that's not getting decorated or covered up today in this video. So yeah, the double-sided tape is a really good thing. And I bought about 10 rolls 3 years ago, and I still have about 6 rolls left. I do use it enough. It's really handy to have around, and it was pretty inexpensive. So if you don't know about adhesives, that's one thing that has saved my bacon and something in this kind of a project, in these Trashy journals. So think about that if you don't have any. This Campbell's label kind of came off and part of it didn't work, but that's okay. This one is just paper, so the glue stick works. My Elmer's Extra Strength glue stick works fine for this. And there is red in almost all of these labels, and which I think is interesting. If you think about marketing, red in all of this. So while I'm filming, I'm doing all of the editing and the voiceovers and everything's on my phone right now, my iPhone 17 that I just got. Because my iPad, which is what I had been doing videos on for the last 6 years, editing and posting to oh my gosh, my brain, posting to YouTube, has been on my iPad Pro, which is now, since I had it since 2019, so it's 6 years old, and it is not cooperating anymore. So I'm just gonna, I think I'll, once I get my, I didn't tell you, I ordered a new MacBook, and it's supposed to be here really soon. MacBook Pro. Yeah, I'm kind of done doing the iPad. My sister talked me into the iPad long time ago, in 2019, and it's worked great. It's been fine. But as soon as I got it, I remember being so frustrated because it didn't have features that a regular laptop had. So, like the editing program, it still had the things on like my MacBook Air had, but when I got the iPad Pro, I was using my MacBook Air, and that finally gave up. I mean, it was done. I couldn't do videos on it since the last 5 years because it was just full. So I finally, the thing died, wouldn't start about a year ago, and I've been using my iPad Pro exclusively, but my iPad Air, or my iMac, or my MacBook Air, boy, all this Mac stuff, they really try to make it confusing, don't they? I really liked my MacBook Air, but it just didn't have the capacity, and it didn't, there's so many technology advancements every year. Something new is going on. So it just wasn't keeping up, and it just didn't have any more space on it. And I tried to dump things and all the whole thing. I tried everything. Had it cleaned out a couple times professionally, and yeah, it still. So I finally got rid of that and was using my iPad Pro exclusively. So now we've replaced my iPhone because that was getting full as well and slow. And now I'm going to replace my iPad with a MacBook Pro. And I've heard good things, so that is yet to be determined. It has a whole lot more editing features in the iMovie. So we'll see if my videos get any better. And I also bought a microphone too. So that will be another thing to work with and learn about. So my brain is going to get stretched. My brain's going to get stretched learning all this tech stuff, and I give myself a little bit of credit because I'm a little more tech savvy than my husband, and he buys the Chromebooks, and he's gone through like 3 or 4 Chromebooks in the time it's taken me to go through my Mac stuff. I don't know, that's just something that he's okay with. I'm not okay with that. I'm just not. So, yeah, and I haven't had any, problems with cyber junk on my Mac stuff. And he gets viruses and stuff on his Chromebook, although it's still pretty good. But it has no capacity. You cannot keep hardly anything on a Chromebook. It's basically, it's an iPad, honestly. It's a glorified phone. His Chromebooks are with a keyboard. So he saves everything to the cloud or his Google files, and he's fine with that. So, but that's just how it is. Anyway, I'm hoping that my videos get a little bit better for editing and such. I'm not going to make any promises, but quality should be better, hopefully. I mean, as far as filming and all that. Back to, that was kind of a rabbit trail, wasn't it? Back to the book I'm working on. I made the circle out of this, and I just took a template of one of my circle tags from my duct tape. They had that circle on the top. I just drew a circle on that and cut it out and made a different kind of a shape. It's fun to have different shapes when you're making a collage like this, just to give it more interest and to divert the eye a little bit. Anyway, I wish I hadn't put that down quite yet, because see the white space behind there? I don't like that white space. And I have to come back and do some stuff on that. But here's that little tag. It says, "Try me." Yeah, I got a lot of circles right there. I got the full circle, the soup or the bowl with the tomatoes, and then the "Try me" circle. But that's okay. That's the circle corner, we'll say. Sounds good? Now what's next? Looking around on my stuff, and I'm trying to figure out what would go good. But I like this Papa Murphy's thing. So I think I'm just going to trim up some of this and add that to the page somewhere. I really like the red. It just pops. And I'm going on to the other side, the right side, that Thousand Island dressing label too. That's an interesting shape. But I wish I would have stopped and put something behind that as well, maybe like a receipt or barcodes, something, just to cover up that white space. And I do address that here in a little bit. Yeah, I just am thinking about while I was working on this. It was so peaceful. Just the music going on in my ears, and there's just no noise. There's no interruptions. I know people are sleeping soundly in their beds, and it's not really even that late. I think it was about maybe 11 o'clock when I was doing this, and I spent about a half an hour doing this, and that's about it. And then I went to bed, and it was just, I was so calm when I went to bed just from doing some of this gluing and cutting and playing. My brain was active, but I was so relaxed. And I think that's part of why I love doing stuff like this, doing collage, doing these trashy journals, even intuitive painting. Just there's no no expectation. I mean, I want it to look good, of course. Doesn't everybody want their projects to look good? But it's how you feel when it's happening. I tell you, I think that's more important than anything, is how you feel when it's going down. And I'm totally enjoying myself. I feel like I'm the only person in the world, and this is what my core being is supposed to be doing. It's kind of magical, a little bit spiritual. Yeah. And trimming up this home base receipt. More red. You know, the fact that there is red in almost all of these, yeah, makes me wonder about marketing and the color red, the way they use color in marketing. It's curious to me, because I'm right now I'm looking over at my rolling cart with all of my stash on it, and there is a lot of red in the packaging. I've got some yellow too. Very little bit of purple and pink. A lot of green. There's a lot of green, actually. Huh. That just makes me wonder about marketing and how they get our eye to look at their product. And how they do that in the grocery stores too. They put the sugary cereals right at kid level because that's what they're gonna want, and they're bad that way. I've known that for ages though. Even when I was a little kid, it's like I can tell that these things are put here on this shelf because my eyes can see them, and I'm a little kid because the bran flakes are up high. My mom always had us eat Cheerios. We had a lot of Cheerios and Raisin Bran growing up, and oatmeal. She would make oatmeal for us. Yeah, Jubilee likes oatmeal too. But we don't do a lot of cereal anymore. Every now and then I get a hankering for Raisin Bran. And that's one of the lower sugar content cereals out there. And I like the crunch. And even though it's still a little bit of a carb, I mean, I just have about a cup of it with some coconut milk. And that's my dessert sometimes. And there's fiber in it too. So it's okay. I give myself credit for taking care of myself a little bit. And these little barcodes are blue, and I kind of want to mix it up a little bit and not have a blue thing, so I've got the Dole down low. So I'm digging in my little bag of barcodes, which I will add more to because I have these other ones up high. But I chose this green one, and I'm going to put that behind the other side of the olive thing there. And I'm peeling off, there's a little more cardboard on there I'm peeling off just to make it thinner, a little less bulk. And I am overlapping a little into the spine, but it's going to get trimmed off if I choose to make it bigger, widen the spine. And if I don't, I will put something else in the middle there. Maybe I will just put some of my decorative tape that I've painted, which is fun, or magazine. I don't know what. It'll get glued down with something. I've got packaging too. I've got wrapping paper, old painted papers. Yeah, lots of things. Or maybe even another piece of cardboard to strengthen it, because it's going to get pretty bulky. So far, what I have in the signatures isn't very heavy, but I haven't added pockets yet. I haven't added things into pockets, so it's still got quite a bit of bulk. Oh, to kind of blank out that white space, I'm just putting some stripes with this Sharpie marker that I bought the other day. I wanted to try it and compare it to the Fudenosuke Tombos. I've got some Tombos and my Microns. I just wanted to compare it to see how it would work on different kinds of materials. And so far, I've found that it takes a minute to dry, And this was just a 2-pack from Walmart. Pretty cheap, actually. But it is a felt tip, and I like how it writes, and it doesn't leak through for the most part. It has a good flow. It feels good to write with. But I noticed I was drawing with it the other day, and I smudged it. So it doesn't go down dry almost immediately like a lot of the Sharpies do. So that was a little bit of a disappointment. But now that I know how to use it better. So far, this is fun. I'm going to trim off the edges, and I'm enjoying my session, like I said. So peaceful, so enjoyable. Yeah, and my husband doesn't get it, but here I am. He gets that I need to create. He understands that. And if I'm hiding out in my craft room, there's a reason. I need to explore creativity for whatever reason. It calms me down. And with life being busy, with a toddler in the house, and all the stuff that goes along with that, I need my craft time. It's imperative. I want to add this little piece here, this cute little piece here. That's from a can of tuna, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I just want to add it right there. So after this voiceover, I need to go pick up Jubilee. It's from preschool. It's so cute when I go there. She's adorable. Her and her little friends, and she's usually in this cute little dress. Probably got something painted or the letter of the day. Yeah, that's just fun. All right, friends, this is what I've got. I really like how it's turning out, and I can add more to it if I want to. There's space for more barcodes. I haven't done anything with the back of it yet. It's just kind of whatever. Again, we'll see how the spine goes. And those olives are misbehaving. Stay. Oh, we'll see. Added some stickers to the front. There were rub-ons that I've had forever. They were like wedding stickers, and it's like, just put them somewhere. So they ended up on the cover. And I don't know what else I'll do with the cover, front or back, or front or middle, and back on the other sides. But this is what it looks like with all of the stuffs in it. Love it. With all the stuffing. So many colors. I really like it. All right, guys. Thanks for coming over and watching today. I hope it gave you some inspiration and ideas for what you can do with your trashy trash. Make it a book. Keep it out of the recycle bins for a while. Love you guys. Take care. And as always, God bless. Bye-bye.